Welcome to Ollivanders. We have a little bit of spare time, so we thought we'd show you how to make our awesome Harry Potter book night wands. If you don't know what Harry Potter book night is, it happens once a year, every February, at Talon's Reach Library, and we recreate the entire Hogwarts experience, starting with having your wand choose you at Ollivanders. So last year we gave out about 400 wands, so we're getting pretty good at this, so I thought I'd show you how we make them. So the first thing you'll need is a chopstick. We've used the thicker ones or the thinner ones, it's up to you. And so they typically come in a package that looks like this. And if you don't have any, you should order some more takeout so you can get some more. And if you don't eat Chinese takeout, that's great. You can go over to your friend's house and they probably have some. And if all else fails, they sell them on Amazon. We buy them in bulk. So we'll have some chopsticks. You need a hot glue gun. Hot or cold works. Hot tends to droop and go in interesting places and flow really nicely like glass. And the colder temp tends to stay where you put it, which you can do some other neat effects with that. And then you'll need hot glue. Believe it or not, we use about a half a stick per wand. And you can use up to a stick or more if you want to make it like a really, really detailed wand. So you'll need a few of those. And then we started using acrylic paint and just a paintbrush. We do an initial paint, and then for Harry Potter book night we use an airbrush to kind of get them in really quick. You can use spray paint as well. That works really, really well. But when you're making 500 of these, spray paint gets kind of expensive and the fumes kind of get bad. So, all right, well, if you have all that, let's get started. You can use hot glue, you can use cold, you can use the cooler stuff. The warm temp tends to drip more and you can do really cool things with that, but make sure that when you put them up to dry, that you put them up in the way that you want them to kind of droop a little bit. You can also quench them in water to kind of freeze them in place. You can add adornments, you can add like beads and everything else, but I find it much better just to be simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is rather crudely dump a whole bunch of hot glue on here. And as you can see, it's going to drip a little bit. And then what I do is I take the edge of the hot glue gun, and for this one, I'm just going to spiral down here. I'm just going to reflow this hot glue a little bit. And so you can see there that it's got like a nice swirl pattern. It's easier to see when they dry and you paint them. And then for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just do a very, very carefully like one of these little like notches in the wood. That's one of the features that are in some of the movie wands. And just like that, you have a really, really simple and fast hot glue gun, or wand. We have to make like 500 of these every year, so we get pretty good. So let me put that one to the side. Maybe I'll put it over my cauldron here. And we will do a couple more of different styles. Alright, so this one is kind of nice, so we're just going to go nuts here, and we're just going to put a whole bunch of stuff on here. But what I like is you can see we're kind of oddly building up a little base here, and if you kind of make one side heavier than the other for the glue application, and then you let it dry like this, and you can see it's already kind of moving. It's already kind of moving down the wand. And you can kind of just guide it a little bit. What'll happen is when you put your finger in there, I'm not going to put my finger in there now because it's hot, it'll make like a nice little hand grip, and that's kind of cool. And then, you know, for this one, we can also do some spirals up here, and so we will just wind, and we'll just kind of wrap this. And then we can do another spiral. And there. So once that dries, and you can see it's kind of moving pretty quick, so I'm actually going to quench this in my cauldron here. Whoop. Alright, so you can see it's still tacky. So it takes a little bit to get the heat off, but otherwise I think that looks pretty good. So I'll set that one up to dry on my nice shiny cauldron. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, let's work on this one real quick. We'll do 3 of them here. And I'm out of hot glue already. They do tend to be maybe like a stick or half a stick per wand. I know that sounds like a lot, but it does tend to go pretty quick. We'll do another like quick little spiral one where we'll make the handle of this a little smaller. And it kind of looks like glass when you're doing this. It's kind of pretty. It won't dry clear like that, but it's kind of fun to look at it. And there can be wispies on here. That's okay too, because those will come off before we paint them. All right, so just like that, it's that fast. We can do maybe one every 15 to 30 seconds as far as doing the glue part. The painting part takes much longer. All right, so let's grab the first one we did. Hopefully it's dry enough. Yay! All right, we'll take some of the wispies off. Make sure it's completely dry. Cauldrons may not be the best thing to dry your stuff on, but that's what we use here. So we'll just take some brown acrylic paint. Flat paint hides the most, but the shiny paint looks the best. And actually, if you have flat paint, you can use, it's a weird, like, it's a floor polish. You can dunk these in floor polish, and they shine up really nicely. Some of the ones that were made for 2020 were like that. So I'm just going to quickly paint these. We use an airbrush because it goes faster, but hand painting looks just as good. In fact, sometimes hand painting looks a little bit better. But when you're making 500 of them, time is of the essence. So it's still a little wet, and you're kind of getting a nice little effect of like almost a stain look. And we can paint all the way up to the tip here. You can paint the tip if you're going to get your fingers wet, but typically we do 2 passes on these. We'll do one where we get most of the body, and then we'll do one where we get the tip. And so that one's painted, and we'll just set it down here for now. We'll go ahead and paint the other 2 of these real quick. As you can see, they're coming along nicely. They'll need probably another coat at least. I would recommend maybe not using cardboard for them to dry. Tends to stick a little bit. Wax paper is better if you have it. But otherwise, thank you for letting me show you how we make wands. Well, hello there, Headmistress.
Hello. You know, those look really great.
Thank you.
I'm really glad that you've gotten a good start because I don't know if you guys know, but Hogwarts has gone virtual this year. And so we've gotten a ton of orders that we need to fill.
Oh, so like 5 or 10? Oh no.
Get to work.
All right. Here we go, making our wands, making our wands, making our wands. I'll see you guys in about a year.